Alrighty, hey guys, welcome back to another Cyberpunk kind of like update discussion video. Sorry about that. Someone just texted me, but yeah. So we're back with another discussion video, and we're talking about performance, FPS, and the issues there. We have gotten some new kind of like in a way I would say info, but not really from what's it called, the developers. As you can see right here on the screen on Twitter, we have two tweets. Obviously, one talking about the achievement of holding like the number one spot on Twitch, and then also top 10 games, which is great. Congratulations. Like I said before, it is a very good game. It has a lot of good content. It's the story's amazing. I've just played for I would say about I don't know like 8 hours now, and so far I am very happy. But with that being said, so people don't think, oh, I'm just bashing this game just to bash. No, I do enjoy it. I think it's a very good game. It's very refreshing to see a very in-depth single-player game. We haven't seen one in a very long time, but yeah, there's some problems. There's definitely some problems, and I have a couple of videos. I'm gonna link them down below of possible fixes that I found so far, which obviously has to do with tweaking some of the settings, and also they have to do with these drivers, like this announcement they made right over here, stating like a reminder that NVIDIA and AMD, depending on which driver you have, they both have new updates that were released. I'm pretty sure yesterday, if I'm not mistaken, both of them. And those are the links right there. It's good that they did this because a big majority have not even installed these drivers yet. So it is good that they did this. But the problem is, even after you install the driver, it does give you a boost, but not significant enough to get you out of, like, in my opinion, the danger zone where, you know. So here's the problem, kind of like, just let me just quickly explain the problem. So for consoles, what I heard, which is 41% of the sales, that's kind of what's been reported. The older consoles barely can play the game. It's very horrendous. A lot of issues. A lot of, the FPS goes in the single digits. Sometimes it's just not playable. The newer generation consoles, they're a little bit better, but it's just still not the best gameplay experience, right? And then in terms of PC, the biggest top-notch PCs are having issues. Like for example, you can check out even the biggest streamers. They have very good PCs because obviously their job is to do this. So their PCs, sometimes are worth more than 10,000, close to 20,000. It's not a stretch, and they're also having FPS problems and stuttering issues, and that is a very big concern. It does show that the game is very unoptimized. When the top of the top technology that's pretty much in circulation right now still can't really handle this game. It's not really the software. I mean, it's not really the hardware. It's the game, unfortunately. And like I said, there's two videos down below. They have potential fixes. I would check those out if I were you guys, and they did help me. That's why I put them out there. Hopefully, helps other people. Just for perspective, I would say, my PC when I bought it, I think 3 years ago, it was about, I want to say about $4,000 or $5,000 around there. I bought it because I had a job that needed a very good PC, right? And I decided to keep it, so therefore, now I could use it for, YouTube and stuff like that. But I most AAA games I've played, I've gotten, I would say, well above 60 frames, about 100 plus for most games on high or ultra. For example, Valhalla that came out, last month, I played it perfectly. I recorded it perfectly. It wasn't no problem on my CPU. There was no problem on my GPU. But the problem is with Cyberpunk, uh, I can't even play on medium and record without there being huge stutters in the recording. It's perfect on my side, but then the recording, it's not there because guess what? Cyberpunk uses a huge portion of your CPU, regardless of your CPU. It will use huge portion. It will use about 60 to 80%, which is a lot, a lot. And the GPU, another issue we talked about was the GPU sometimes was not being utilized for some weird reason. And when you do, by the way, just a quick heads up, when you do download these right over here, launch your task manager, Control Alt Delete, launch it, and when you launch the game, see if your GPU is being used. If it's not being used, if you don't see a spike in your GPU usage once the game is launched, re-download and restart your computer. Re-download these driver updates, because sometimes they just don't install right the first time for some weird reason. And that did help me, because the first time I did install it, my GPU wasn't being used. Second time it was, and it got a little bit better. And like I stated in my previous videos, for right now, if you're on PC, even if you have the best of the best PC, I would really suggest you guys play on low. It doesn't look bad on low. It still looks very playable on low. You could put the textures kind of more up, but most of the other settings, like shadow settings, occlusion, all that, put it all down. Just put it all down. It will help you play the game a little bit better. And I think and it pretty much won't, in a way, overheat or overwork your PC. Now, I really hope, now see, with this announcement, let's just look into it really quick. A lot of people obviously got the memes, dead game, which it's not, right? But a lot of, pretty much all of the responses have to do with, the game not really being playable, and a lot of issues when it comes to FPS. Right over here, game runs bad, fix game, please fix base. See, there's just a lot of problems, and even if you go on their Reddit, if you make a post like this, you're guaranteed free karma, and it's very upsetting. Again, I want to see this game succeed. I think it's a very good game, but look, like I said before, a game's core base is its performance, is its FPS, it's how well it runs. In this case, this game has content, good story, good gameplay, but then it just lacks that core foundation of performance, which is very, very important. And hopefully they work very fast and get this out as soon as possible. Unfortunately, they didn't mention any of this here. They tried to keep it super, just like basic over here, which I kind of understand as a PR move, but at the same time, I think it needs to be addressed. I think we need to have another one of those yellow screens and kind of just, more in depth on stuff that you can do to fix it, and just let us know what the where they are at in terms of an update or in terms of a hot fix for this performance. I don't care if they say in a month, but it's just good if they communicate it. Because there's a lot of people waiting to even play the game right now, and a lot of people, look at this, it bounced up even more. There was 104,000 people currently on this subreddit right here, this page, which is insane for any game. This is one of the biggest releases in recent memory. This is an insane release, and I think that it's being shadowed by its performance issues, which is unfortunate, because there's so much more to this game, but unfortunately it's just just an unfortunate situation. See, 41% pre-orders were on console, and those are having the biggest issues because they can't really change much. And you have posts right here about, obviously, turn off all the big stuff, motion blur, film grain, chromatic abrasion, just turn it all off if you really want to have a good time. This right over here, cascaded shadows occlusion, your ambient occlusion, how much people are like the NPC crowd size, turn that to low, all to low. But yeah, that's gonna do it for me. There's your little updates. Again, if they say something else, I'm gonna try to update it again. I'm gonna try to update you guys again. But yeah, great game. Just it needs that core foundation, to make it amazing, to make it, to really live up to those reviews that came out a day before, in my opinion. But yeah, like always, ask me any questions, any concerns, and stay safe.